What is up, guys? We are out today on the 2024 all new for Specialized Epic 8. Wow. So I've been riding the Epic 8 Evo for the last week and a half. And it's actually the exact same frame. I purchased this frame as a frame only from backcountry.com using the links below the description in this video. You click that link and it'll take you over to Backcountry and you can buy the same frame I bought. So I bought the Evo model, the Epic 8 Evo model with the Fox float shock on the back of the frame there. Well, after almost 2 weeks of riding that bike, I realized that that felt a lot more like a trail bike than the other bikes I've been testing lately, which are the Pivot Mach 4 SL, the Ibis XC, and the new Yeti ASR. So I thought, man, something needs to be done here. So I took this bike up to Salt Cycles, had them take off the Fox 34 fork, 130 mil 34 fork, and replace it with this 120 mil RockShox Sid Ultimate. And then we swapped out that Fox float shock 120 mil for 120 mil RockShox Lux Ultimate. So now I've turned my Epic 8 Evo into an Epic 8. And man, so far I can tell you this bike feels much more, in terms of climbing, like the other bikes I've been testing. More like that Ibis XC, more like that Pivot Mach 4, and it just, you can see here, I think this is how Specialized intended this bike to be. Having ridden it 6 or 7 times now as the Evo with the Fox suspension, I think this is a better fit for this bike. So because I dropped it down to that 120 mil fork and now it's the Epic, you know, I've got a slightly steeper seat tube angle and a slightly steeper head tube angle, but still, for a cross country bike, sitting at 66 degree head tube angle is still a pretty generous, you know, a very slack, for a cross country bike, very slack head tube angle. The bike feels, you know, I rode the Evo yesterday morning, less than 24 hours ago, and already, I know it doesn't seem like a big deal dropping from 130 mil down to 120 mil, but the bike feels slightly more planted. You fill up over the bars just a little bit more, and that's kind of, I prefer that, I think, over the Evo. I mean, we'll see how this thing descends here in just a minute, but so far I'm impressed. Also, half a degree steeper seat tube angle. I think I'm 5'8" on a size medium here today, and I think the taller people will be grateful for any amount of slightly steeper seat tube angles. It also just feels like it has a little bit less perceived pedal bob with this RockShox Lux on the back, you know, compared to that Fox float shock. So climbing, I mean, it feels a little brighter, a little zippier than the Evo. Just feels more like that Yeti ASR and the Ibis XC I've been riding a bunch the last 2 weeks. Let's get this into the top and see how it descends. That's what I'm really interested to know, the difference between this and that Evo I've been riding on the descent. Here we go. Descent on Ghost Trail. This is kind of a blue trail, flowy, and it's a Saturday morning in the middle of March. It's probably the first real dry Saturday of the year, so it's going to be very crowded is my guess. There are going to be a lot of people, but we'll see what we can do. I have a Recon front tire and a Recon Race rear tire, which I know are different than what Specialized specs that Epic 8 Pro, but other than that, this bike is really similar to that Epic 8 Pro model. Hey, have fun. Okay, hopefully we can get a clear line where I don't have to stop for people. Man, already, I know it sounds stupid, but the bike feels a little more responsive and a little zippier. Just going to this RockShox suspension. Yeah, I like the bike better already. What, 30 seconds in? I know that sounds ridiculous, but it feels snappier, sharper. Honestly, it kind of feels easier to ride. Like, I don't know. Yep, I definitely like it better. That is so weird. Just a little subtle change. And it just feels more, a little sharper. Feels more like the ASR. That ASR feels very, very precise. Whoa. Oh yeah. Yeah, I feel better on this bike already. Just a little bit sharper. Okay, a little punchy climb right here. Out of the pedal, out of the saddle, sprinting a little bit. Oh, hey, sorry. All right, let's try North Loop here. Oh yeah. This is a little bit higher speeds, more rocky and much looser than the previous trail I was just on. I would say it feels slightly nervous, but we are on a cross-country bike. The ASR also feels nervous through some of that section of trail right there, where the Evo maybe felt not nervous there, not as twitchy. Again, those are higher speeds. I wish I had a speedometer on me so you could see how fast we're going. Hey, not too nervous, not too twitchy, but yeah, you feel a little bit more on the edge of that uncomfortable edge a little bit more than with the Fox suspension and Evo configuration. This is all kind of out of the saddle sprinty section. Well, for a second it was. Okay, a few little jumps here. I think the bike feels more balanced as an Epic than it does an Epic Evo. It's definitely like more maneuverable. Like, I don't know, man, it just feels, I rode it with the Fox suspension and the Evo setup yesterday morning. Just feels more intuitive. Oh, overshot that a little bit. I don't know. Yeah, this is how I would buy this bike. I'd buy it as the Evo, as the non-Evo, 100%. I mean, we're gonna hit down this trail right here. It's gonna be much higher speeds, over 25 miles per hour through this whole next trail, and jumps. A little bit of loose over hard pack, where the 7th generation, the previous Epic Evo feels a little sketchy on this trail we're about to ride. This is the Epic now, the new 8th generation Epic. Let's see how it does. So we'll start reaching some higher speeds as soon as we turn this corner. Yeah, the bike just feels, whoa, totally overshooting these. I have a tailwind too, so it's like extra fast today. Yeah, the bike doesn't feel bad at all. Again, the bike that you buy as a complete bike will come with like a fast track and oh, what's the rear tire? I don't know, some lower traction tire, but I have a recon and a recon race today. Renegade, I think is what they call it. I kind of messed up that manual there. So these tires are slightly better in terms of higher speed and more traction, but not much. This is still a tire combo I would do a race on. Yeah, this is how you buy this bike. My buddy Britton is going to be very interested to hear that. Yeah, jumping feels great, man. This is a very capable bike for sure. Man, I would say I probably feel slightly, and I have just to, I never switched that link in the back of this shock either when I converted it from an Evo to a standard Epic. So I'm in the low setting right now. I should have mentioned that earlier. So I'm in the 66 degree head to angle, or 65.9 instead of the high, which will put you at 66.4, which I'm pretty sure, off the side of the trail, I'm pretty sure the Epic ships in the high, where this bike was originally an Evo, shipped in the low. So the shock is in the low setting. Maybe I should have flipped that up to the high setting, huh? Oh well. Let's get this last little section here. Man, the bike rips. That was fun. Wow. Okay, so I just got back from my first ride on this new 2024 Specialized Epic 8. As I mentioned in the riding portion of this video, I bought this frame from backcountry.com. You can use the link down below to head over to their website and pick up a frame just like I did. But I bought it with the Fox Float shock on the back. And then I purchased, from my local bike shop, Salt Cycles, a 130 millimeter Fox 34 Grip 2 fork. Okay, well now you can see I've switched it to an Epic. So 120 mil RockShox Sid Ultimate up front and 120 mil Lux in the back. Well, the Epic ships in the high setting and I left it in the low setting. So my review today is of the Epic 8, although it's in the low setting, so a half a degree slacker, right? Even still, I liked the bike pretty much in every single way better with this suspension with the 120 mil fork. It feels a little bit brighter, a little bit zippier. And just so you know, I rode the 7th generation, the previous Epic Evo last week, back to back with this when it was in the Evo setting, and it made the Evo feel like a trail bike. So I'm very anxious and excited to go ride the 7th generation Epic Evo versus this Epic 8. And I know there's a lot of names getting thrown around here, so it's probably hard to follow, but real quick, climbing on this bike, on the Epic, you feel less perceived pedal bob than you do when it was in the Evo setting with that Fox suspension on there. Also, it just feels like a little brighter, like when you get out of the saddle and really start sprinting up a section of trail, it just feels like it's all more efficient and going up the trail quicker. The bike felt more responsive and a little zippier. For some reason, it might sound weird, I had the same tire combo on both of them, but this bike just feels explosive, like it wants to go. I'm very excited to ride this back to back with the new Yeti ASR, which has very similar geometry as the Specialized Epic. Descending, man, this might be the best descending cross-country bike I've ridden. It's very, very good. I felt super confident and comfortable on the bike. It feels like a very neutral and balanced riding position. Right now, the top step for cross-country bikes in descending for me is probably the Pivot Mach 4 SL. So we got to ride these back to back at some point. The Pivot Mach 4 feels so damp, so controlled. I'm very interested to ride that back to back with this Epic. But man, I think Specialized hit a winner here. Just knocked it out of the park with this bike. Very impressed. It has in-frame storage in the down tube here. You probably know that. You can click the link down below and go over to Backcountry's website and look at all the nerdy numbers on the bike. This build that I have, although it's a custom build because I bought a frame only, I built it to be almost exactly the same as if you bought the Specialized Epic 8 Pro build, the $9,000 build. That's very similar to what I have here. Transmission XO drivetrain. You know, the wheels are probably a similar weight. These MVM6 wheels are similar to those carbon wheels that come on the bike. But man, I think I really like this. I'm not going to put the Fox suspension back on anytime soon. I'm going to keep riding it as an Epic. I'll hopefully do a long-term review that I can publish maybe in June, and go from there. Anyway, I hope this video was helpful. I think that if you were previously riding the 7th generation Epic Evo, I think the new Epic is kind of the same type of bike. In fact, this feels less twitchy and less nervous as the previous Epic Evo, in my experience. I'll ride them back to back next week and we'll see if we can make a video on that. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I don't publish that often, so I'm not gonna bombard you with videos. Less than 75% of the people who watch my videos are actually subscribed. So subscribe, hit the like button. It really helps me get promoted here on YouTube. And then if you're doing some mountain bike shopping right now for glasses, helmets, any of the kit that I'm wearing, any of the stuff that I use to build up this bike, this frame only, I've linked it down below with affiliate links that you can go and purchase, and it'll be a huge support to my channel. And I'll see you in the comment section down below and answer any questions that you have. See you in the next video, guys. Thanks.